Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's early. It's 6 o'clock a.m. On Wednesday, it's February now. Wednesday, February 8th. Heading to Batesville Casket Company in Batesville, Indiana to do a quick, fun, few-hour jam session with their technology team and CEO and VP on kind of the state of digital media in the funeral profession and social media and what that means to funeral homes and the marketing landscape now, and how does a company like that play in and be supportive of funeral homes as they embrace digital media. So it should be fun. Jam session, really looking forward to it. And then later this week, going to be heading to Detroit for a meeting, and I will be bringing Tiso along for that, so we'll get some good footage and just keep documenting the hustle.
See Joe.
Had a amazing just kind of technology jam session, digital, where the funeral profession's at, kind of what the landscape of social media looks like in the funeral profession right now. It was pretty amazing just to talk with a room full of technology people and kind of from a customer service standpoint to an education standpoint, what the landscape looks like in terms of social media and just digital. So great conversation. Alright, so we're headed to Michigan to meet with a funeral home, potential client, run through some things about digital and about social that they could be doing, and just figure out a way that makes sense to partner with us. And right now I've got a business conference call I'm going to hop on, and then a few other calls after that.
Yes, then just send a check straight to my door, and I'll open up and we'll start making shit the fans adore. I'm going ghost, you can call me Danny Phantom.
I'm more centered on maximizing all of my time to try to either be all in with family or all in with business. So yes, I can see where funeral homes think the social's negative because it's a completely untapped medium for them, because they've figured out the engagement and how to make traditional media work, and it doesn't anymore. It's completely overpriced. There's all this negativity around social, which is so underpriced at the moment. You can either choose to look at this negatively, or you can make this a positive. And if you make this a positive and look at the change as a good thing, like 15 years ago, this thing didn't exist. 15 years ago, the Facebook didn't exist. So look how much our world has changed in 15 years. How can that be a negative? So now you have more opportunity than ever to tell your brand story, tell your funeral home story, connect with your consumers on a level that is completely different than the way that you currently connect with them. I am dumbfounded at the fact that people think that is a negative. You have so much potential to make a difference in somebody's life now through content that you create before they ever need your services, which is 1,000% more valuable than spending $15,000 or $10,000 on a direct mail campaign, hoping you get 3 or 4 little cards back in the mail. Where is the connectivity in that versus the conversations that can be had online with consumers? You would be amazed at the amount of comments and messages that we get through funeral home Facebook pages for at need. Like, my dad just died and we don't know what to do. You can't get that any other way than them picking up the phone. And obviously the consumer is far more comfortable coming to you privately through a message than being on a phone call. So we've drawn lines in the sand in this profession of ways that we think things have to be, when the consumer has gone far beyond where we currently are. And it's time to step over those lines and realize that what matters most is the attention of the consumer. And it doesn't matter if that consumer is on Facebook, on Instagram, on whatever comes next. If there's attention there by your consumer at scale, you need to be engaging there, period. How can that ever be a negative? So this is what you do. This is a rule that you never pull up to a funeral home with a dirty car.
I'm not talking about the kind that can be killed with just advantage. See me going pro, they want to know just how I manage. I'm going
That's how we do lunch on the road. Now the car wash.
I'm not talking about the kind that can be killed with just advantage. See me going pro, they want to know just how I manage.
What's up? Good, man. Good to see you. It's one, how the content's crafted. Like Facebook's going to give priority in newsfeed if you use the right image size. Like we have analytics on, if we have over 55 characters in a post, engagement drops down 20%. Say you do what the average direct mail campaigns between $5,000 and $10,000 one-time pop. He sends out 10,000 cards, you may get 3 of them back. Page. And then we target pre-arrangement ads at the users that have visited the pre-arrangement page. We can get as sophisticated as you want. There's a million things that we can do. It's just allocating the dollars to do it and seeing the value in it. We had the viewing and everything upstairs, and you had to go down 2 flights of steps to the kind of reception room.
Yeah.
And there was nowhere to put, nothing to do with the kids, and you're there 8 hours all day, and the kids family's already there, so no one can watch the kids.
Now they get the lot.
That would have been ideal. Yeah. That's great. Well, this is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. Well,
I love the detail with the stars
we
and the.
decided, well, you know what they call that? Of course, it was a pagoda roof. Pagoda meaning more kind of like Japanese stuff.
Okay.
And we said, it's time to change things up. So this guy came up with that.
That was a fantastic meeting with a potential client. So hopefully you enjoyed that. That's a little bit of insight of just kind of how a jam session goes, where we're meeting with potential business and what's going to happen. Super psyched that they allowed us to film and capture some audio from it. Give you better insight. Now we are headed to hang out at FuneralOne for a little bit with Joey and his team, just to catch up, do a little business, we'll do some things together, and then we're going to head back to Ohio, get in late tonight. So good solid Friday, way to end the week with a nice hustle, but really excited about that meeting and the potential there. Good day, man, good day. A lot done, a lot of calls in the car. Some meeting with the funeral home. Now hanging with FuneralOne. Making stuff happen. Check this out. What's happening?
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Check this out.
Oh, hey! Come on, we get up front, baby.
Sorry, you probably texted again. Or no?
Huh?
Did you text again after my? Okay.
Yeah,
good,
I saw it
good,
coming
good,
up.
good. Yep. Phone's at my desk.
Hey there.
Hey, how are you?
Actually
Analyze change for the last few years, right? We've been literally changing and transforming so much. I mean, the business that most people think that we are, it is nothing like where we're going. We haven't been doing this for nothing. It's like literally, we've basically retooled everything. We've transformed the whole business. I mean, so many businesses in life, what happens is they end up, showing up to work, they do so much work, they do all.
They can basically keep the experience going as you move around in the room, so you can walk around.
Whoa.
And look. Think.
It was a great trip to Detroit and Grosse Pointe, Michigan, hanging out with jam with Funeral a little bit and getting really to connect again and jam with FuneralOne to see what's new in their realm, what they're really exploding. And so we're back home 11:15 on Friday evening, 11:14 And yeah, so a wrap on a good week. And now it's work all weekend and edit up the content. So good stuff. But again, you get to see kind of what the week's like. Batesville Wednesday and Detroit on Friday, and that's pretty much a regular week of travel and hustle and really grinding. So that's what it's like in the funeral profession. And losing your voice and being raspy and talking way too much. So yeah, good week. Good week.